Hi, my name is Ashley Doyle, and my investigative question is, how do people respond to trauma and adapt to the environment? Trauma affects people differently due to their own unique situations. After traumatic events, the brain goes through changes that influence our emotions, mental processes, and the ability to manage fear. Trauma refers to either physical or psychological, life-threatening injury resulting from the tragic personal, familial, or disaster experiences from which the individual or community can't escape. The reaction is one of terror, helplessness, and a sense of being overwhelmed. Trauma is typically out of one's control and can range in severity. Trauma can be an isolated event and recurrent. Individuals may respond negatively to trauma and exhibit symptoms consistent with post-traumatic stress disorder, also known as PTSD, depression, or despair and isolation, while others may respond in a positive, more resilient manner, using the creativity of talents and community to pull through hardships. During the loss and change in traumatic times, people of course will go through grief and struggle, but some people decide to pull through and have a purpose in their pain and a reason for the struggle and help others to move forward in traumatic events. Resilience is found in people who come together in communities and collaborate and have creative and resourceful ways to adjust to their new normals in their lives after surviving a traumatic event. Community, creativity, and spirituality are all ways people can be found using resilience. While some people have a positive way of coping with trauma, others may experience a more negative and have negative coping skills that can be recognized with particular actions and behaviors. It's normal for humans to experience a wide range of reactions and feelings after trauma, but the majority of people bounce back to their initial state of well-being. People who continue to have negative coping skills after trauma might be diagnosed with PTSD, depression, or anxiety. They also may experience substance abuse so that they can feel numb, or they might overwork themselves so that they keep all distractions off with their other life. Next, I will be talking about the artifact, in their own words, resilience among the Haitian survivors of the 2010 earthquake. The 2010 Haiti earthquake killed approximately 250,000 people. The story of the Haitian survivors of the earthquake show that being resilient does not mean that individuals are unaffected by trauma, but to be resilient, the Haitian survivors were able to focus on their resources and maximize their creativity, problem-solving skills, courage, and spiritual beliefs. And this helped lessen the despair and loss from the earthquake. Next, I will be connecting the long walk to freedom. Nelson Mandela was South Africa's leader against the 20th century against apartheid. He intended to bring freedom and equality to all South Africans. Mandela won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993, and prior to becoming South Africa's first Black president, Mandela spent 27 years in prison because he was fighting against the South Africa's apartheid laws. Mandela showed resilience by coming together as a community with his fellow prison mates and finding connections and gaining strength together and believing that one day he would be free. His resilience came from not giving into despair and not letting the prison guards and authorities break him down, and he was staying hopeful and peaceful and for peaceful change. Option B. In 2017, Sandberg and Grant wrote Option B. It addresses how people endure various types of trauma. Sandberg worked with a professional psychologist, Adam Grant, in her recovery and writing and learned that while a portion of people develop PTSD and decrease functioning after a trauma, there was another discovery that people were resilient and could bounce back forward in a response to trauma in a behavior called post-traumatic growth. Sandberg found resilience and purpose by sharing her grief and loss of her husband, and finding purpose in her pain and wanting to give encouragement to others and facing hardships through writing her story. Next, I'll be connecting Jack Jablonski's story. On December 30th, 2011, Jack Jablonski experienced a spinal cord injury at the C5 vertebrae and was left paralyzed chest down during a hockey game at age 16. Following his injury, he created a Jack Jablonski Foundation. The purpose of the foundation is to do amazing work in the lives of people living in paralysis and to encourage hope in their new normal days to follow. Jack has proven that resilience can be found in oneself and in community, and he believes he is not done with hockey yet, or life. And he continues to motivate others and to do great work in life. To conclude, a wide variety of psychological, emotional, and cognitive responses to trauma lead people to adapt in different ways into the environment. Not all adaptations are positive, but the ones that do have a common theme of resilience and post-traumatic growth, seeking community, believing in one's purpose, and after the trauma and pursuing forward into life. After learning about the long walk to freedom, and in their own words, resilience among the Haitian survivors of the 2010 earthquake, and the book Option B and Jack Jablonski's story, it all proves that there is power in believing that life is worth living and coming together in a community to help build strength, creativity, purpose, and hope for a future livelihood.
I'll add like a soundtrack of applause.
All right, a couple of questions, Ashley.
How did your research question evolve as you moved through the research process?
Originally, my investigative question was, how does childhood trauma affect how humans create and make decisions later on in life? And I decided to switch because I wanted to understand all the different ways that people adapt to trauma, because no one really adapts the same ways. And also the artifacts that were given didn't really touch base on how, like, childhood information regarding the psychological recovery process.
Okay, thank you. What additional questions emerged from your research, and why are they important?
Question that popped up in my head while researching was, why are there infectious diseases that outbreak after a natural disaster? Because I think this is important due to how there is an outbreak of cholera after the 2010 Haiti earthquake, and that killed thousands of lives. And yeah.